Hey, shalom, sweet sisters. Ah, I think I got here just on time, and I'm just trying to hide some of the crap in the background here. Didn't prepare for the for the live as well as I'm preparing for Shabbat, right? So thank you for being here. Welcome. I welcome. I'm still trying to get the tech stuff under control. So hopefully everybody can hear me. Got my mic on and fairly new, so not very many people know that when I go live. That's okay. I'm going live because it's easier than making a video and editing it and trying to upload it right now. And it seems like it's always Friday. So last Friday, I was on my way to the city to who's got their who's got their drink. I warned you in the comment I made earlier. Hopefully you have something warm or cold to drink. Mine got sort of tepid as I was preparing. I like my tea and coffee really, really hot. And by the time the tea soaks, what is that, steeps, uh, it's not warm enough anymore. So I have to reheat it, I guess, or add more hot water or do something with it. So, welcome. Thank you for being here. We're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about preparation day. It's Friday again, and this is not necessarily my favorite day to do a video, but it seems to be the day right now. So I'm working it in and everything's good. I last week I quickly did a live and then I rushed off to the city to be with my daughter in love and my granddaughter and just sort of take the pressure off. My granddaughter's mm, I think she'll be 15 months. December, yeah, she'll be 15 months next week. And she's busy. She's so busy, but I love her so much. And she's so cute. But she gave me a gift. Yeah, she gave me a gift. She gifted me with a head cold. And so earlier this week, I was not doing well. I woke up, I got home Monday night. I woke up Tuesday morning. I had a sore throat, chills, fever, nasal congestion, and I I just couldn't. I was just so foggy, and so Tuesday and Wednesday were pretty much of a wipeout, and then I had to work outside the home yesterday, and that wasn't fun. Today's my first day home up moving around, and it's already Friday and it's already preparation day. And uh so we'll talk about, first of all, uh, I celebrate or honor, guard the Sabbath from sundown to sundown. So sundown this evening to sundown tomorrow is Sabbath. I get that from we're introduced to it in Genesis. The world is introduced to it in the garden. 6 days you will labor, and on the seventh day you will rest. And this, and in that section of the Bible, we see that um, every day of creation, there's evening and morning the first day, evening and morning the second day. So that's where I believe our uh, Jewish brothers and sisters got it from, and it sounds legit. But there's a second witness that I feel is more legitimate even than the days of creation, because I've heard arguments, and that's in Leviticus 23, where the Almighty is laying out all of the appointed times, all of the Moedim, and on well, let's go to Yom Kippur first. So that would be Leviticus 23. It's Vayikra in the Hebrew, 23, and it is verse. I just had it and then I moved my cursor. Starts it starts in 26. Yehovah said to Moshe, the 10th day of this seventh month, the 10th day of this seventh month is Yom Kippur. You are to have a holy convocation. You are to deny yourselves. So that is an appointed time, but it's obviously not a feast day because we're to deny ourselves. And most of us fast. Some fast food, some fast food and water. Some can't fast food, maybe for medical reasons. And so they may fast social media eh, or it's something else where they can set aside the world and deny their flesh. So you will deny yourself on that day. And anyone who does any kind of work on that day, I will destroy from among his people. You are not to do any kind of work. It is a permanent regulation through all your generations, no matter where you live. It will be for you a Shabbat, a Sabbath of complete rest. You are to deny yourselves. You are to rest on your Shabbat from evening the ninth day of the month, of the seventh month. This is a fall feast until the following evening. So if it's the evening of the ninth day through that starts the 10th day through the till evening of the 10th day, to me that is an excellent witness of when a day begins, evening to evening. And so we're not going to go into Yom Kippur, that's not today, but it does, for me, helps cement the when I should start my Sabbath. So, sundown today, until sundown tomorrow will be Sabbath. And I didn't look it up. I probably should have, and I might be able to bring it up. But ah, this microphone and my keyboard. All right. Okay, preparation day. There it is mentioned at Passover, the year that Yeshua was crucified and sacrificed, that there was a preparation day where the women had gone to get the spices to prepare his body. Okay, it looks like it's in Luke and Mark and um, it's mentioned in John. Um, so let's just go to John 19:31. And I'm in the complete Jewish Bible. That's what I've been reading these days. It was preparation day, and the Judeans did not want the bodies to remain on the stake on Shabbat since it was an especially important Shabbat. It was, in my opinion, uh, the day before unleavened bread began. So Passover is the meal in the evening, between the evenings before the first day of unleavened bread, which goes for 7 days, and so they were preparing for that annual Sabbath, and they did not want bodies uh, still hanging on the cross. So they asked Pilate to have the legs broken and the bodies removed. It's mentioned again when the women are for the preparation day for the weekly Shabbat, that the women would were getting spices. So, and this is what makes sense to me. And again, we can have a conversation about it because there are some other opinions that they don't not make sense. This just makes the most sense to me. If Yeshua died on a Wednesday, the year he died, if Passover was Wednesday and Thursday was the first day of unleavened bread, which is a Sabbath, and then Friday, the women went shopping because Saturday they wouldn't be able to. And then Saturday evening or early Sunday morning, they went to the tomb. Then Yeshua, who said that the sign that he was the Messiah would be that he would be in the tomb 3 days and 3 nights, just as Jonah was in the belly of the fish. So that would be Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, because I believe he resurrected Saturday after, or yeah, at or after the end of Sabbath. And then he would have been in the tomb all day Thursday, all day Friday, all day Saturday. So that's 3 days and 3 nights. He was resurrected at the end of Sabbath, but it was not discovered until early the first day of the week. That's my understanding. It's obviously another video, but we can see preparation day mentioned in scripture there, and it's important. So why is it important? Why is preparing for Sabbath part of being Torah observant, or part of recognizing the importance of Torah and the instruction that we are to rest on the Sabbath? Why is it important? Well, for me, what I used to do is I tried to get like everything perfectly clean for Sabbath. Like my laundry done, my house clean top to bottom. Um, and it was difficult to do that sometimes. So eh, I still do that if we're going to have company, and I want, like, my house is not, it's usually, except for my office sometimes, it's usually 15 minutes away from company. It's not ever, like, out of control. But, um, I would sweep and vacuum and mop and dust and throw in loads of wash, and I think that I was getting into Sabbath, like, going face first for home base. Yeah, I mean, it was just, and when the sun went down and I got there, I was yeah, and and stressed, and it took hours for me to just settle into a time of guarding the Sabbath and enjoying the Savior, and making it be what the spirit of the instruction is, to rest and enjoy each other and enjoy God. So I couldn't do that. So I took it, um, I stepped back a little bit and I said, okay, what drives me crazy on Sabbath if it's not done? And that answer will be different for all of us. If I have a load or two of laundry in my laundry room, that doesn't bother me on the Sabbath. I just don't go that way. I just don't go in there. Um, if if I have dust on my furniture, that doesn't usually bother me. If my kitchen is dirty, that bothers me. So one of the big things that I focus on preparation day for me, and we'll all be different, and I'm sorry I'm shaking my camera. Um, we'll all be different, but I try to get the all the dishes washed, all the counters wiped down, and even if and this goes against my nature, I have a small dishwasher up here, and it's an apartment size or I don't know what they call it, but it's a baby. Even if it's not I fill it before I run it. I've always filled my dishwashers before I run them, and I know how to get every last plate, cup, utensil into a dishwasher, like maximum efficiency, and still get them all clean. I that I can do. It's Tetris, but I can do it, right? On Fridays or even sometimes Thursday evening, I if I think that I'm not gonna have room in the dishwasher for dirty dishes on Shabbat, I run it. I don't care if it's full. I just I want to have room in my dishwasher on Shabbat to just rinse the plates and put them in the dishwasher. I don't wanna see them. And so I mean, if I have other dishes that I normally wash by hand, they're in the sink until sundown, but not my, thing. It's a bug. But uh, not dishes. That's just me. I do not wanna see dishes in on Shabbat if possible. The other thing that drives me crazy on Shabbat, if it's not done, are the bathrooms. I don't like I just do a swish and swipe, which I learned from the fly lady, and leave a comment if you know who I'm talking about. If you know, you know. But I do a swish and swipe on Fridays if it hasn't been done for a couple of days because I don't like nasty sinks and toilets and mirrors in the bathrooms on Shabbat. That's just something that bothers me, and I want to do something about it. And then I'm thinking about the wrong things. So those are some of the things that I do now, for sure. If I can get other things done, great. One thing I learned, and I s I don't bake every week, so I don't make challah every Friday for Shabbat. We just don't eat that much bread. What I've learned, though, is that I can't get the things done I want to do on Sabbath, on preparation day for Sabbath, if I'm baking too. I I don't know. I'm sort of a methodical and kind of slow person. I I I don't multitask well. If I'm going to bake, yeah, I can get things done while the bread is rising and that kind of stuff. But to switch back and forth between baking and some other random thing is difficult for me. Maybe I should learn to do it, but I don't do it well. So I can be in the kitchen cleaning up the kitchen and I can go file some papers or something while I'm waiting for the bread to rise. But it's just one more thing that I have tried to make my challah on Fridays, and then other things don't get done, and I'm sliding into home at sundown, and I don't like that. So I haven't decided yet, and I don't bake enough. Like normally, I'll bake on Thursday, and I just have day old bread, which doesn't bother me. We normally, when I bake, we slice and put 80% of it in the freezer right away anyway, so I never eat it fresh. So that's another thing that I've learned. I don't try. But that might be the most important thing for you. You may want fresh bread at that evening meal on Erev Shabbat, the evening of Sabbath, and it doesn't matter to you if your bathroom didn't get wiped down or there we're all different that way. I would love to know what it is that does matter to you and what doesn't. So, yeah, um, that's that's kind of and why is it important? Isn't that do I have my covered that? So why is it important? I believe that um, we need to make our space on Shabbat a, a peaceful place and a place where we can all relax and not be bothered by the worries of the world. So when the Almighty tells us, and I can go back to that, when He tells us that we're not to work, and that's like the beginning of Leviticus 23, the very first moed is the Sabbath, the weekly Sabbath. It's just as important as all the feast days, maybe more so, because it's something that we set aside weekly. So we have 52 days out of the year, our weekly Sabbaths, and then a handful of other annual Sabbaths. There's 2 for, unleavened bread. There's 1 for Shavuot, for Pentecost. There's 1 at trumpets. There's 1 at Yom Kippur. That's for Linda and Marshall. I've got to say my Hebrew right. Um, so and then there's 2 uh, beginning and ending for Sukkot. Can we afford to give out of 365 days? Can we afford to give the almighty 65 days where we're not worried about work? Now, some people, I should talk about this, some people do not cook on Sabbath. I cook, but I plan very easy meals. Some people on preparation day will do all their meals for the Sabbath, and I don't. There's just the 2 of us here. I may do things differently if I had kids at home and stuff, or but, um, we normally ha have 1 meal during the hours of Sabbath, maybe 2 in the summer because the days are longer, but we'll have a late brunch. We normally watch something on TV, Jacob's Tent or uh, some other service because we're remote, so we don't have a local congregation. Last week, though, I did get to go to a local congregation down in the city, and it was amazing. I actually ran into a few people that I knew, so it was cool. It was really good. But, he up here, we enter into, uh, Sabbath with a Bible study on Friday night. So we try to like, we get everything done, and then we head into town, and we have a Bible study, and we, uh, discuss the Torah readings for the week and catch up with each other and pray for each other, and it's our small group, I guess. And and then we watch something on Sabbath in the morning, and this isn't supposed to be a Sabbath video, but it kind of how you prepare for how you honor and guard the Sabbath is important and why. So when we wake up in the morning, we don't rush to do anything. We grab our coffee. We usually have a pretty lively discussion, my husband and I, over something that came out of Torah or scripture or something we've been learning separately. And then we kind of hash it out. There's always something that we talk about, and then we watch something on TV, and then we make like I love my husband's egg scrambles, or if he feels like it, omelets. They're I just he does a great job, so he'll make omelets or scrambles or something like that sometime early afternoon, late morning, and then we have another it's a pretty that's quite a bit, and then we have another light meal later on, and that's so it's not that I don't know if you grew up with the Sunday dinner where my mom would we'd get home from church and she'd just cook till it was time to eat, it seemed like, and it was a big spread. And to me, because I don't really enjoy cooking, that's work. But I don't think that I can't light my stove and m make a bowl of soup or we just go easy so that nobody's stressed. Nobody is spending an exorbitant amount of time in the kitchen. And then once the sun goes down, I usually go in there and clean up the dishes and take care of that kind of stuff. Um, yeah, so that just depends on you, but so what's the alternative? I've heard women say, "Well, I don't cook on the Sabbath," but then their family will go out for dinner or, they'll go out to eat on the Sabbath, and then in my mind, you're making the someone else work and someone serve you, and then you're paying money, and we don't buy or sell on the Sabbath, not even online. So, I think it's better to stay home and make your meal than to involve all these other people into working on a day that we shouldn't be working on. So that's my opinion. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Leave a comment, uh, and we'll and we can hash that out. See what else did I want to talk about preparation day. I think to sum it up, let's just focus on the things that bug you. So if you're sitting down on Sabbath or you get up to get a cup of coffee in the morning on the Sabbath, so you can sit down and relax and read your Bible or have a discussion or whatever you're doing, and the sink is piled with dishes and eh, and that's going to make you crazy all day that where you're like and it happens anyway. I think the longer that you honor the Sabbath, the easier it gets, because I remember sitting down on the Sabbath, no matter how well I prepared the day before, and seeing cobwebs in the fan or just little things that I didn't see all week. Like, they've been there not just all week. Let's be honest, they've been there since last July or whatever, and I'm I'm seeing it all on the Sabbath. And I don't know if that's human nature, I don't know if that's the enemy, I don't know what that is. But when you're told you can't do something, then that's when we wanna do it. And it just boils down to obedience at that point. That cobweb or that pile of papers or magazines or does anybody even have magazines anymore, like physical magazines? I don't know, but any of that, it can wait. It can wait until the cold hydrate. I'm sorry, sisters. I should have grabbed a cough drop. Might have to end this here pretty soon. Excuse me. I should mute you, but I seriously don't even know how. Oh, maybe right there. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm still getting over my gift. So, but I didn't tell my son and daughter-in-law that I had come down with something, but I told his brother, and his brother ratted me out. And so uh, he called today and apologized. And I said, if I'm going to catch a cold, I want to get it from wonderful, wet baby kisses, which I got all last weekend. I want to get it from her or from my other granddaughter any day of the week than touch a grocery cart that some stranger coughed on and get it like that. And that's no fun. So I got baby kisses and I had so much fun playing with her and watching her push things around. She's that close to walking. And I think when they get back from their trip that they're going on, it, I will not be surprised if that little darling isn't walking around. So right now, her mom, and I agree, her mom has noted that she's not patient enough to walk. She probably can, but if she gets down on her hands and knees, she can get wherever she wants to go a whole lot faster. And so that's that's her personality. I She isn't going to wait. So yeah, so I'm grateful for the time I was able to spend with family and I got to see everyone for at least a little bit. I have 3 sons and 2 granddaughters and, um, a grandchild on the way. I might know here in a few weeks what I think they said the beginning of March. They're going to do a reveal in the Philippines. So, we were just talking about maybe somebody can hold the phone and I can watch on Messenger or something like that when they do that. And then, my middle son, his fiance, I don't know what to eh, has a 13-year-old daughter, and so I don't know her yet very well. And she definitely isn't calling me Gigi, but in my mind and in my heart, she's my granddaughter. I just have to get to know her. So so, yeah, I don't know why I went there. What was I talking about? Just family, getting to see family. I did not get to see, um, the I don't like to say names, but yet, I'm still not comfortable with how much to share, because these are people, they may or may not want to be named on YouTube, so if it's me, that's one thing, but and I don't know, I think in my first video, I shared that my name is Susan, and the channel is Honey from the Torah, and the sweet, sweet sisters that are here we're just, I I want us to become a community that will share, struggles and questions uh, and victories. So, my victory for Sabbath is that I have figured out what needs to be done on preparation day and what doesn't, so that I don't have to slide into Shabbat like I'm sliding into home. I would just I wanna maybe for the analogy's sake, I wanna knock the ball out of the park in a way that I can circle the bases leisurely. I do not want it to be a mad rush to sundown. Some of the things that I don't do on preparation day is, uh like, I don't do extra work with the chickens or anything like that. I just really focus on the things that are going to take away my shalom on Shabbat. Um, so so if you, uh, if if you enjoyed this, let me know. If it helped you, like the video. I would love for you to subscribe and get and comment so that we can direct the channel to the needs of the people in the community, the sisters who are here, and just love you all, present and future sisters. So grateful that you watched this video to the end, and I will talk to you next time. Blessings.